The Age of Fire was never meant to last forever. But by the time Dark Souls 3 begins, it isn't simply ending, it's being maintained. Propped up by sacrifice, denial, and the desperate refusal to let go. The gods are gone, the lords are ash, and faith has become hollow ritual. And in that vacuum, something else emerges. Not a hero, not a demon, not even a tyrant, but a man who learned that in a dying world, belief doesn't save you, consumption does. This is the story of Aldrich, not as a monster, but as the final, honest expression of Dark Souls theology. Aldrich began as nothing special, not royal, not chosen, not powerful. He was human, and he was hungry. Item descriptions tell us plainly, Aldrich developed an insatiable appetite for flesh. He consumed men repeatedly, compulsively, until his body itself began to change. This was not desperation. This was indulgence. Cannibalism in Dark Souls is usually taboo. It marks beings as cursed, broken, or damned. Except Aldrich was not condemned. He was canonized. The people around him did something deeply revealing. Instead of stopping him, they reframed him. His hunger became sacrament. His consumption became communion. This is where Aldrich truly begins. Not when he eats, but when others decide to call it holy. Aldrich did not seize power. He was given it. By declaring Aldrich a saint, the world didn't excuse his actions. It redefined morality itself. This is one of Dark Souls' cruelest truths. Evil doesn't always overthrow good. Sometimes good just changes its definition. Aldrich's hunger became symbolic. His flesh-eating became spiritual, and his growth became inevitable. This is how rot spreads in Dark Souls, not violently, but administratively. As Aldrich consumed more, something answered. Not the abyss, not chaos, but the deep. The deep is often misunderstood. It is not active darkness. It is not rage or entropy. It is stagnation, the kind of darkness where things sink and are never recovered. Water without waves, depth without motion, a grave with no bottom. Aldrich became its mouthpiece. Through endless consumption, he began to dream. Visions of the world after fire, after gods, after purpose. A future not of collapse, but of suffocation. Aldrich didn't preach revolution. He preached inevitability. Aldrich does not see the future because he is wise. He sees it because he absorbs. Every body he eats becomes memory. Every soul becomes information. Aldrich does not learn. He digests. This makes him unique among Dark Souls antagonists. He does not impose a vision. He simply accumulates enough mass to predict where the world is already going. The deep does not conquer. It waits. The Cathedral was not built to worship Aldrich. It was built to sustain him. The Deacons understood his role perfectly. Their duty was not prayer. It was supply. Bodies, sacrifices, rituals, all feeding a being that no longer distinguished between faith and flesh. This is one of Dark Souls 3's most brutal statements. Religion doesn't fall apart when gods die. It reorganizes around whatever still works. And Aldrich worked. Eventually, the world demanded a sacrifice. Aldrich was burned and made a lord of cinder. Not because he was worthy, but because the world had no better options left. Fire reduced his body to ash, but could not erase him. Aldrich survived as sludge, a being beyond anatomy. No bones, no structure, just hunger. And when the bells rang again, He refused. Why return to preserve a cycle he knew was already rotting? Pontiff Sulyvahn did not control Aldrich. That assumption diminishes both characters. Sulyvahn discovered the profaned capital, uncovered forbidden flame, and learned the truth Aldrich had already foreseen. The gods were hollow idols guarding an empty throne. Sulyvahn didn't command Aldrich. He believed him. Aldrich dreamed the future. Sulyvahn executed it. One beneath Anor Londo, one ruling above it. Aldrich's most infamous act is also his most honest. He consumed Dark Sun Gwyndolin. This was not conquest. This was not vengeance. It was disposal. Gwyndolin embodied illusion, tradition, and the last remnants of divine authority. By devouring him, Aldrich erased the idea that gods mattered. When we fight Aldrich, his form still mimics Gwyndolin, because digestion takes time. Even gods rot slowly. By the end, Aldrich is no longer human. He is no longer even an individual. He is process, a mechanism by which the world converts meaning into mass, where faith becomes fuel, where gods become calories. He does not rage against the cycle. He outlasts it. Aldrich did not end the Age of Fire. He showed what comes after. Not darkness, not chaos, but consumption. When belief fails, when gods flee, when fire is extended too long, something else feeds on the remains. And Aldrich was simply the first honest mouth to open.